And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to 1,000 Mile Coffee. You're riding along with David.
I'm Jason.
And we're going to pick that pin back up here into trucks. Now, last time we were talking mainly about the trucks we'd driven, and we didn't really touch much onto this, but we want to get into it this time. Your pros and cons between each truck. Now, I've driven the long hoods. I love how they ride. They ride beautifully. They look good going down the road and everything else. But, and this comes into that big but, they don't turn. They're horrible in your small places like that, like in Ivy Land. Mm-hmm. They're horrible trying to work around. They're blind. They do have blind spots on them, along with the fact of they're not going to get the best fuel mileage compared to your modern Aerodyne trucks.
Yeah. And that's the bad thing, dude. I'd love to have a W9. My preference out of all the trucks that are being made, looks wise, I've always loved the look of the W9, and I'd love to have a Kenworth W9. But with what we do, that's not practical, dude. We wouldn't be able to get it in half the places that we deliver to.
Exactly. That's the problem with the W9s and your Kenworths, your long hoods and stuff like that, is they don't have the same turning radius that your more aerodynamic trucks do.
Right. Another thing too, and that's going back on the Volvo. That's one of the biggest pros I see of a Volvo, especially if you're going into a lot of really tight places. They turn so tight. It's nice to have.
Oh yeah. But
the look and the sound, if you want more of a classic truck, then you're going to be stuck with the W9, the 389, 379, your Peterbilt Kenworths. Me personally, the only hood I've driven was my Coronado, and I loved that truck.
Yeah, that's the one thing. That's one of the other things. When you come to the longer the truck, the better the ride, which is one thing a lot of guys don't realize. That's why a lot of your people love the hoods and stuff like that, is they are a longer truck.
Or you get the ones where they stretch the truck out even longer.
Yeah, honestly, I'm very biased. I do not like a stretch truck.
And if it's done right, it looks good, I think.
Yeah.
But I ain't willing to sink that kind of money into something to make it look right. Or to look good, I should say.
My problem with when you come into stretching a truck that long is you're pretty much limiting yourself on where you can go. But I know I've been out in Texas, and there's guys that down there that have the trucks that are stretched to 350-inch wheelbase. You get the guys with the super sleepers. Those are the people that normally, they don't have a house. All right. They've sold everything off, and that is their home.
Yep. And in those trucks, man, they got,
they're an RV.
Yeah, it's an RV. They got the full RV refrigerator. They've got, bathroom, shower. They've got water holding tanks, fresh and sewage holding tanks. They've got actual, some of them have 3 and 4 burner stoves.
Oh, yeah.
In them. I mean, they, queen and king size beds. I mean, you can have them set up any way you want it. But there's, like I said, down in Texas, you have the guys that have some of the trucks stretched out to 350-inch wheelbases, but they have a regular small sleeper. Right.
Some guys do that for the show truck look, but I've seen them where...
Or the outlaw look.
This other thing. But the one thing I've seen them do it for is down in Texas and sometimes out in the Midwest is your steel haulers. Because this gets into your over-dimension, over-length laws.
Yeah.
Because if
you stretch it out on the front end and not as much on the back end.
Exactly. You can put that extra length of steel I-beam between the trailer and your cab, and then it's technically not oversized because it's still within the length of the truck, if I'm not mistaken.
But I don't know enough about oversized to answer that question. Anybody who does know, comment on it if he's right or wrong.
Yeah, let me know.
Most of the time he's wrong. He takes joy in the few times that he's correct.
Do you just enjoy seeing me over here with my pitiful ass looking like a
little bit.
Puppy you just kicked?
A little bit, yeah. Hey, it's been established on here.
Who needs enemies when you got friends like him?
Hey, it's been established on here. I'm an a-hole, and I am most of the time. I'm a sarcastic a-hole.
And I'm still trying to figure out, why do I hang out with you?
I don't know why half the people hang out with me. Because I'm funny looking. I don't know. We talked about the freight shakers. That's one of the nicknames that you'll hear people talk about Freightliners. They are another one. They've got a good ride, and they don't turn as good as the Volvos, but they turn decent. I love my 680, but my Coronado, even that Coronado with a hood, would turn circles around that 680 I'm driving.
Yeah, something about the 680 is just the way they got the front end set
It's something
up.
about PACCAR in general, which PACCAR owns Peterbilt and Kenworth. So it's something about the PACCARs in general. They just don't turn real tight.
Yeah, because the 579 I drove didn't turn that tight.
Yeah.
It's something just dealing with the way the steering boxes are set up on them.
But boy, the PACCAR and the PACCARs in general, whether it's Peterbilt or Kenworth, everyone I rode in, they ride a lot better than the Coronado did, than the Cascadias I've driven.
Yeah, I will give it that. That's the one thing that Peterbilt and Kenworth pride themselves on is the ride.
International gets a lot of grief, but I enjoyed the ProStar that I drove.
I will admit the ProStars,
it's very driver friendly.
They do. They have a lot of storage room inside of them, and the driving area is spacious.
It's spacious, and not just for the fact of storage room, but even the driver compartment. You can sit there and put anything you want around you and be able to get it, within reach. I enjoyed my ProStar. I really did.
Now, again, this is going to be various from truck. This is going to vary from truck to truck depending on how each.
What did you
has
eat
set
this
up.
morning to give you this much gas? It's like the second time you've burped.
Cold pizza.
Oh, okay. That'll do it. But yeah, he's right. It's all preference. We're talking about what our preferences are. But we're going to stop right here and put a little pin in it. And we realized that we never did a tour of a truck. For anybody who is looking at going in, of what kind of living conditions you're going to be living in a truck, spacious wise. It's sad to say, but
we've never took
y'all out and toured the inside of one of the trucks. So we're going to do that right now. And it's sad to say, but to give you a perspective of how tight one of those are, I shouldn't say tight, but how roomy one of them are, sarcastically, of what we live in day to day. And we're going to do that right now.
Well, I'm David. This is going to be a continuation. This is my truck.
Nothing fancy. She ain't clean. It's a work truck. Welcome to where you will spend most of your day. The driver's seat. CB stuff, it all depends on how you want to have each one of your trucks set up. Double check with your company. Some companies don't like steering knobs. Interior light. Top bunk. Here's the bed. This one does have a fridge in it. You've got your storage for food, little things, another shelf here, different cabinets for everything. Cabinet. This is where all my clothes are in here. Because nobody rides with me, I just use my top bunk for storage. And this is pretty much it. It's not fancy. It's not clean. It's a work truck. It is what it is. See y'all back inside.
There you go. We're back.
Tour of the inside of my truck.
Yep, of his truck. I don't like it just because his truck was in the shop. Mine's way out in the back here, and just lazy, don't want to walk that far.
It's a little warm outside, as you can clearly see from a little warm.
Right. So that gives you an idea on how big the inside of one of those trucks are. I've never been locked up, but from what, one of my buddies who told me one time, said the jail cell's bigger than the inside of those trucks. So that gives you a frame reference if anybody ever has been, detained. But anyway.
Yeah.
Well, we just wanted to. That's going to be about it on the truck situation there. That's just what our thoughts are. You know, as you do the job, you'll get your own thoughts on what you like, what you don't like.
Exactly. You'll set the truck up to each way you want to have it set up.
Yep.
Now and again, thank you all for tuning in to 1,000 Mile Coffee.
Everybody stay safe, and as always, keep it good.